then WideNet opened in 2005. Websites were a little bit of a harder sell because people still hadn't quite caught on to the whole, these are going to be really good for your business someday. And 10 years later, turns out we were very right about that. So at the same time, we're making sort of another prediction along the same lines that mobile apps are going to be sort of the next big thing for businesses. And in 10 years, it's possible you could see them replace websites, if not become as crucial to your business as a website is today. But to understand why websites are going to be so good for your business, or why they're already good for your business now, you have to understand, well, why mobile is such a big deal. Right now, 64% of Americans own a smartphone. Mobile media time is at 51%. That means that when people spend their time on any sorts of media, 51% of the time they're using it. They're using their iPhone and not a computer. Worldwide, mobile internet traffic is at 33.5%. In America, that number is almost double, and we spend more time on our phone than we do watching television officially. And in 2017, they're saying that mobile internet access is expected to reach over 90% of internet users, which means that 90% of all people connected to the internet will be able to do so through a mobile device. So why do people love mobile so much? Because it's a personal computer in your pocket, and we can literally do anything with our mobile phones these days. We can do our finances, we can run businesses, social interactions, all from the palm of your hand. And not to mention you get 24/7 access to anything you want to know at any time. So that just feeds our growing and constant need for instant gratification. If you have a question about something, you can find out immediately right then and there. Just pull out your phone and Google it. And you're also always in contact, so you cut down on missed calls and missed messages. You can respond to things faster. You can connect with people faster, contact people quicker. You don't have to wait till you get home or send them an email or respond to that. So people love mobile because it's easier, it's faster, and it's just growing. It's just taking over pretty much everything. So the 5 ways, a very zen title for the presentation. Push notifications and direct communication, 24/7 marketing and brand recognition, modernization, an extra avenue for revenue, and internal communications and project management. I'm going to go over each one of those. Push notifications are the first one and the biggie. The little messages you get from any app, if you have, especially if you have a game app, like Candy Crush or something, they'll send you those little messages you get. Those are push notifications. Well, you can use those to send out messages directly to someone's phone from your app. So you get direct communication with your user, and you know they're going to see it because it pops right up on the screen. It's hard for them to miss it. A lot of studies are showing that push notifications can increase engagement with your app up to 80%. That includes your open rate, your click-through rate, and purchasing power. So if you own an app and you want to, like a store app or retail app, you sell something through it, using push notifications, there's a higher chance that people will actually buy your product. And you can use, like I said, you can use them to let people know about special offers, new deals that are happening, updates or breaking stories, news about your business or industry, and or just personal account information, depending on the type of app that you have. 24/7 marketing, I think this is probably the most important one, in my opinion. We spend up to 4.7 hours a day on our phone collectively, so throughout the day, checking our phone 150 times on average. And that just goes anywhere from just looking at it to check your email, whatever. You pick your phone up and look at it over 150 times a day, collectively over 4 hours a day. With an app, every time someone picks up that phone, all those 150 times someone picks up their phone, they're going to see your brand and your logo. They're going to be interacting with your business through that way. Not to mention, with an app can increase brand awareness and loyalty so long as it's functional and optimized. If you have a decent app and people download it and use it, it's going to make them like your business more. It's going to make them trust your brand more, and you're just with the consumer all day, every day. That's a completely different level of marketing exposure that we haven't had, period, yet. As is a brand new, you literally with your customer everywhere you go. They can't get away from you, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, I guess. Modernization, clients are mobile, like we saw earlier in the statistics. Pretty much everybody has a cell phone or a smartphone. So if your clients are mobile, you should be too. We already know that websites have to be mobile friendly in order to be effective these days. And not only is that true in the sense of, well, it's what the clients are doing. Google has already told us it has to be that way, because if you have a website that's not mobile friendly, this past April, they implemented a new rule where they're going to start penalizing your website and pushing it down on the search notification for search results if your website isn't mobile friendly. So it's a must. Apps just take that a step further. It allows the customers or the clients to interact with your business a little bit more, connect with them on a different level. And it makes you seem relevant, which consumers like. The more relevant and up-to-date that your business seems, the more likely people are to trust you if they've never heard of your business before. And smart technology is taking over literally everything, between the smartphone, the tablet, the smartwatch, the smart TV. All these things are app-based. I mean, if anyone here has the Apple TV, which is that, I mean, you can get different channels or different programs and stuff all from a station's singular app that just appeared on your screen. So all this smart technology that's coming out is all app-based, and it's a big deal. An extra avenue for revenue. You can use your app to let people make purchases or order something right from their phone. Shopping apps, a lot of retail stores do this these days. They use, I actually have both of these, the Target Cartwheel app and the Hobby Lobby app, because we shop at both of those places a lot. And the Cartwheel app, it gives you deals, it gives you coupons, you can rack up points and win awesome prizes, like a cruise even for like 6 million points. The Hobby Lobby app gives you a 40% coupon every single week. So every week it updates the app and you get a brand new coupon, and you can shop directly from the app. So the app allows you to add that, like I said, that extra avenue for revenue. People can buy things from your app, they can order whatever you're doing. And it doesn't just have to be for retail. If you want a restaurant or a hotel or anything that's reservation based, people can make reservations through the app. If you have a service based business such as repairs or IT or pest control or anything like that, people can order your service through that app. Or if you run a concert venue or anything where you're going to be selling tickets or event passes, people can do that as well. So I mean, it literally just gives you another area for you to make money and for customers to spend money on your business. The last one, which doesn't get talked about as much, is internal communication and project management. Apps are beneficial to businesses in the sense that they're great for the consumer. From a business to consumer standpoint, that's sort of the more obvious thing that I think a lot of people can pick up on. But the other way is through a way to manage everything internally. They don't have to just be for consumers. I mean, you can have an app for your business that all of your employees or workers have, and you can manage calls, and you can manage projects and internal communication. And it's a lot easier because every time I get up from my desk, my phone is in my pocket. Every time I'm anywhere, my phone is always in my pocket. I may not always get the phone call. I may not always get the email, but you can use apps to connect everyone in your business to basically communicate, stay on top of things, manage projects. So the options are kind of, I wouldn't say endless, but great in a lot of ways. I mean, there's twofold ways that you can use them. Now, developing your app is something that you want to approach like you would approach a website. Nowadays, you can go online and you can go find a really cheap website, often with a really cheap template, and you can have that, but it's not going to be as effective as it would if you actually invested some time and money into it to actually build a decent website. And we've talked about here before that with a website, it's not just a novelty aspect of your business anymore. It's not just a add-on thing or something small that you could have just to say you have it. I mean, it's really a integral part of your business these days. With everything being digital, having a good, solid website that works well is extremely important. It's crucial. Well, as things move more towards the mobile, the app is going to be just like that as well. So along the same lines, you can go and you can get apps from these development websites. Biz apps is actually something that we like. That's one of the good ones, but you have to be careful with those websites because, again, you get a shoddy app that isn't worth much. It's just not worth the time and the little bit of money you put into it in the long run. So overall, if you decide to develop an app for your business, the most important thing you can do for that is to actually build one. Get a good programmer or a good company that can do that. You build a good, solid app just like you would your website. And that's it. But it wasn't a regular presentation. So anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Sure.
I guess those require, like, you know, your websites, you go into the control panel, you update your content. What about on apps? How much maintenance is required in an app? Is it connected to your website? When you do things there, it updates there, or do you have to go into a special app program that's connected to it to make those changes, or do whatever you want?
Well, Biz apps and some of those other websites, it will give you something like a dashboard or control panel to control stuff from. With a custom built app, it kind of depends the same way that I guess a website would. Like for WideNet, we have a control panel that we build for all of our websites, so you can go in and you can edit everything from your control panel. Whereas some people don't necessarily do that. You have to call them in and say, hey, can you change this for me and fix this? So I guess it really would depend on who develops it, what they decide to do with it, or what company you go through to do it. It can be a couple different ways. But
so it really is a separate thing. You have to go into the manager app. And the only reason I ask is because if you're a small business, you cover like a lot of different paths. I mean, you're supposed to consistently post on Facebook and consistently, you know, all of these things. And then if you add one more, like, you know, an app, I was just curious. I mean, it's, you know, I have apps, but I don't know how you manage it.
mm-hmm.
It can be like.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely can be.
Our control panel does power the content for the apps that we've made internally for various customers. They're quite literally hitting the same database.
So they're fairly easy to censor,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
as opposed to maybe unique.
It's the exact same thing. It's just a different view of the information.
Okay.
The mobile app view versus the website view versus a PDF view. You know, it's the same information.
Yeah.
But you would just want to highlight certain things that are on sales or
Exactly.
But a website that's mobile enabled, you have a regular website and you can upgrade it to be mobile as well. How is that different from an app? It's not the same.
Well, your app is, well, for starters, they're just not, they're not the same. You can have your website that is responsive, which means it just, when you view it on a mobile website or on a mobile phone, it just automatically changes to fit the screen, or you can have a separate mobile website, which some people do who don't have responsive websites. They sort of serve two different functions in a lot of ways. Like the app is a lot more personal and direct because, like I said, you carry it with you everywhere you go. So you download it. You can streamline certain things. Like you can't do everything. And there's some stuff you can do on, like, for say, the Target app that you can do on the website. So you can purchase through both the Target app and through the website. But the Target app will send you like those deals and those coupons and offer those points that you can gather up directly to you. So where the website is more like if you want to go to someone's website, since we're all mobile these days, you want to go to someone's website, it's important to have one that works well because that increases the whole brand trust and brand awareness and everything. But the mobile app can be a lot more personalized, a lot more streamlined, a lot more conducive to marketing directly to the individual consumer. Does that make sense? Yeah.
The biggest difference is having a presence on the phone.
Right.
The mobile app is on the phone. It's able to receive push notifications and access aspects of the phone, like GPS at all times, and the camera in the file system that a mobile website can't. You are on the website or you're not. But the mobile app is here all the time. That's the biggest differentiator.
So you're always carrying it with you everywhere you go.
So I know some people use their smartphone and do some things on it. There's a restaurant like that, but Google Maps.
Oh, yeah.
What might be the approximate range for developing an app or having an app?
Yeah, it really greatly depends.
4,000 to 80,000.
So like $4,000.
Yeah. And now, if you go through something like this, you go and it's going to be like any template, anything. It's just going to look generic. We have some, I think we priced less than 4, but most started 4, and anywhere else in the nation, you're generally going to start at 8 to 10
Mhm.
for that, which is very,
So it might be a little outside the budget of a small business.
and then a startup especially, not necessarily small business, but a startup.
Yeah, it can depend on what you want to put into it. Just like a website. I mean, if you can, depending on what you want to do with your website, how much programming needs to go into it, can determine all that extra cost. So I mean, it really just depends on what exactly you want to do with it.
Yes, some companies may find it more, more, I guess, return.
Mhm.
Their investing.
Absolutely.
Now, I've read articles of people spending over $100,000 on their website before because they had so much they wanted to do with it. I mean, so it really just depends on the company, what you want, and what you want to do.
That supposedly just takes everything a step further, and it can bring all the different things you're doing under one roof, as far as social media, email, everything you're doing, you cut down on time spent managing all this.
Really, you do it all for you,
Potentially.
You can connect your Facebook and your Twitter to it if you want to, and
yeah.
all kind of stuff like that.
So it's very engaging, and it's important to turn your customers into advocates, and that's one of the things that can do that.
And we're talking about things like this too. I mean, you think about it, like I said, the same as kind of your website. Like, there's going to be a couple more limitations and restrictions with an app than there would be with your website. But at the same time, like, you think like websites are completely and totally customizable for the most part. I mean, you said it, especially when you build from the ground up. Anything you want to do with it, you can. A lot of that's the same with the app. I mean, depending on, you can do a lot. I mean, there's no real set. This is the only possible thing you can do with an app. I mean, you can. That's why they're custom to your business.
There's sort of a word of mouth part to it. You could actually share the app with somebody else and put this on their phone.
Mhm.
Really, like WideNet, you can share our app with somebody, and then you can spread it much like word of mouth. Where, unlike a website, you have to tell somebody, "Hey, go WideNet's awesome. Go check out the websites." You're not really going to do that, or you may do that, but you can share the app and then just viral it and spread it.
I think it's easier to get people to download your app too. I mean, because you have that. It's not like this real deep investment into something for the consumer. Like, they can download it, and if they don't like it, they can just delete it. It's not like they're signing up for anything or going to get stuck in anything before. So it's easy to say, hey, just download the app and check it out. And they can download it, and if it's a great app, they'll keep it. If it's not, they won't. But I mean, I think it's easier to get people to do that. I download apps all the time, and then just turn around and delete them or keep them depending on. But you can just, I mean, there's no real risk involved for the consumer, so it's a really easy thing to get them to do, and it's a really good way to get your brand into their brain and get them thinking about it.
I'm much more apt to download an app than I am to give you than I am to give you my email address for your newsletter.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't you email me, I don't know your app.
Because it's less of a commitment, and I think people probably like that a little bit. So I'm the same way. I'll download an app quickly, but when it comes to email, sometimes I'm a little, I don't know if I want to get all the stuff you're going to send me. I have to unsubscribe. Oh, I'm on a lot of email lists. Any more questions? Tim? Yeah, probably. Thanks to you guys for coming out, braving the rain to learn about apps.